Hey cat lovers! So here's a question for you. Are cats just misunderstood, or are they actually plotting world domination? Seriously, ever notice how they stroll around like they own everything? The I own this place and you're just my humble servant kind of vibe. But come on, are cats really jerks, or is this all just a quirky act? Today we're counting down the top 10 reasons why our feline friends seem to have an extra dose of sass. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a mix of both. Let's dive in and see what's really behind that I'm better than you attitude. 1. Cats are independent to a fault. Unlike dogs, cats were never bred to be our loyal sidekicks. While dogs evolved alongside humans, often trained for hunting, guarding or herding, cats had a different agenda from the start. Their ancestors were solitary hunters, mostly self-sufficient, and this independence remains strong in their DNA today. When you call a cat, it's not ignoring you out of spite. It's just that they don't see the point in dropping everything for your command. Cats are hardwired to prioritize their needs first. It's not arrogance, it's self-sufficiency on full display. They haven't been bred to obey or rely on humans for survival. In fact, the domestication of cats happened almost by accident. Thousands of years ago, wild cats hung around human settlements, likely drawn in by the abundance of rodents. Over time, they realized that living near humans came with perks like steady food sources. But even then, the relationship was more one of mutual benefit than loyalty or submission. They chose humans, but they also maintained their autonomy. Even today, your house cat still feels like they're doing you a favor just by hanging around. So when Fluffy ignores your call to come snuggle, it's not personal. In their eyes, they don't need you to dictate their day. They're perfectly content doing their own thing, whether that's napping in the sun or plotting a sneak attack on your toes under the blanket. That cool indifference. It's independence at its finest. 2. They only show affection when they feel like it. You could be showering your cat with all the love in the world, scratches, head rubs, even pulling out the fancy treats. And what do you get in return? That classic cat look that says, "Why are you bothering me?" It's like they're too busy contemplating the mysteries of the universe or plotting your downfall to care about your affection. But here's the kicker. Wait until they want attention, and suddenly you're the most important thing in their world. They'll headbutt your hand, purr up a storm, and drape themselves across your lap like they own you, which, let's face it, they kinda do. The key here is timing. Cats aren't withholding affection out of rudeness. They're just incredibly selective about when and how they dole it out. It has to be on their terms. You see, cats are all about control, whether it's where they nap or when they decide to grace you with their love. To us, it can come across as snobbish or aloof, but in reality, they're just picky. Think of it as the feline version of playing hard to get. When they finally do show affection, it's like you've earned their stamp of approval for the day. And let's be real, that sense of exclusivity is part of the charm. When a cat chooses to curl up with you, it feels like you've won some kind of elite prize. They may act like royalty, but when you're the one they choose, it's a moment worth savoring. So yeah, they may make you work for it, but that's just part of their allure. 3. The ultimate throne. High perches for judgment. Ever noticed how your cat always manages to claim the highest spot in the room? Whether it's the top of a bookshelf, a cabinet, or even your refrigerator, they love these elevated positions. And it's not just for the view, although having a panoramic perspective of their domain is definitely a perk. From their lofty throne, your cat is both literally and figuratively above it all. They can silently judge, observe, and reign supreme over their kingdom, aka your house, without lifting a paw. This behavior ties back to their wild ancestors, who used high perches to escape predators and keep an eye out for prey. But in your home, it translates to an I'm better than you vibe. Up there, they're in control. You're just one of the peasants stumbling around down below, probably wondering why they knocked that potted plant off the shelf. For them, it's all about maintaining their regal status, both visually and socially. 4. They don't care about your rules. Let's get one thing straight. Cats play by their rules, not yours. Trying to train a cat to follow commands is like trying to teach a fish to walk. Whether it's the kitchen counter that's clearly off limits, or that 3 a.m. sprint across the living room, your cat doesn't care about your house rules. The truth is, they've got their own agenda, and it rarely lines up with yours. Cats are wired to do what they want, when they want. If they want to explore the countertops, they will. If they feel like zooming around at the most inconvenient hours, they will. And guess what? They're not losing any sleep over it. While you might be banging your head against the wall, they're content knowing they're the boss of the house. So don't be surprised if your attempts to stop their antics are met with a cold stare, or worse, complete indifference. 5. Their gifts aren't exactly thoughtful, yes, the classic dead mouse on your doorstep, or worse, in your shoe. While you might view this as the stuff of nightmares, to your cat, it's a grand gesture. In their eyes, they're not just showing off their killer instincts, they're providing for you. That's right, your cat thinks you need help with hunting. It's the feline equivalent of bringing you breakfast in bed. Just, with a little more gore involved. Cats are natural hunters, and this instinct doesn't disappear just because they've become pampered house pets. So when they leave you a decapitated bird or a half-eaten lizard, they're not trying to gross you out, they're trying to be generous. But let's be honest, nothing says I'm superior. Quite like dropping a mangled animal at your feet and staring at you expectantly, like you should be impressed. Thanks, buddy. 6. They're clean. Very clean. Ever notice how your cat spends hours grooming themselves? It's like they've got a daily spa routine, and they take it very seriously. Cats are fastidious creatures, spending up to 50% of their waking hours licking, pawing, and grooming. But before you accuse your feline of being a vain diva, know this: it's not about looking good for Instagram. This meticulous grooming is actually a survival strategy. In the wild, keeping their scent down helped them stay off a predator's radar. By cleaning themselves, cats remove any traces of smells that could attract unwanted attention from potential enemies. So, while it may look like vanity from our perspective, it's just your cat's way of staying sharp. Still, all that fussing over their appearance does give off serious, I'm too good for this vibes, right? 7. I'm busy. Attitude. If cats could talk, they'd probably say something like, sorry, I'm busy, whenever you try to get their attention. With a sleep schedule that could rival a professional napper up to 16 hours a day, they aren't exactly rushing to cater to your needs. And even when they're awake, cats often aren't in the mood for your shenanigans. If you've ever tried calling your cat only to be met with a slow blink and a tail flick before they go right back to ignoring you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cats are the ultimate introverts. They enjoy their alone time, and they're not always interested in entertaining you. So while this aloofness can seem like arrogance, it's really just them keeping their precious energy for more important matters, like staring out the window or plotting their next nap. 8. The cold, piercing stare, you know the one. That unblinking, icy stare that makes you feel like they're judging your every move. It's like they're silently questioning all your life choices. While this might seem like a purely arrogant cat move, there's more going on behind that intense gaze. In the wild, making eye contact is often a sign of dominance or challenge between animals. Cats instinctively use eye contact to size up their surroundings, and maybe you too. When they lock eyes with you, it can feel like they know something you don't, and maybe they do. But it's more about them being cautious and observant. That said, when your cat gives you that look, it's hard not to feel like they're secretly plotting something. Just another reason they give off those I'm better than you vibes. 9. The witchy connection. Cats and witches have been linked for centuries, adding a mystical and sometimes sinister edge to our furry friends. Whether they were revered in ancient Egypt or feared during the witch hunts of Europe, cats have always carried an air of mystery. Their connection to witches only strengthened their too cool for you persona. I mean, think about it. A cat curled up next to a cauldron while its owner is casting spells. That's not your typical lapdog vibe. This reputation for being witchy was further fueled by folklore, where black cats especially were seen as omens of bad luck, or even believed to be witches in disguise. So it's no wonder that cats sometimes come across as a little otherworldly and aloof. They've been painted as creatures with magical powers for centuries. Even today, their graceful, silent movements and piercing stares can make them feel like they know something we don't. Cue the spooky music! 10. They mark you, not the other way around. When your cat rubs its face on you, it might seem like an affectionate gesture, but there's more to it than meets the eye. In the feline world, this isn't just a loving head bump, it's a territorial move. When they press their face against you, they're leaving their scent on you, marking you as part of their property. That's right, in their mind they own you, not the other way around. Cats have scent glands around their face, and by rubbing on you, they're claiming you as part of their territory. It's like your cat is saying, this human is mine, back off. So while we might see it as a cute sign of affection, it's really a subtle power play. In the grand scheme of things, it's just another reminder that your cat is running the show. They don't just live in your house, you live in theirs. How's that for a bold statement? So, are cats truly arrogant? Or are they just misunderstood little kings and queens of their own world? Honestly, it's probably a bit of both. From their regal perches to their mysterious stares, cats are masters of doing things on their own terms. They may seem snobbish, but behind all that catitude is a blend of ancient survival instincts and a sprinkle of diva behavior that we've all come to love. and occasionally tolerate. One thing's certain, they know exactly how to keep us entertained, humbled, and wrapped around their tiny, furry paws. Whether they're ignoring our calls, knocking things off tables, or gifting us with the occasional, surprise, cats have their own unique way of showing love. And maybe that's why we adore them so much, because deep down, we know we're not really in charge. They are. And there you have it, folks. 10 solid reasons why cats will always be the rulers of our homes, and let's be honest, probably the universe. If you enjoyed being reminded that your cat is actually your boss, give this video a like and share your funniest cat servant moments in the comments. We know you've got stories. And hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more pawsome content from Mystic Meows. After all, here to help you stay just one hairball behind your feline overlord's next sneaky move. Remember, in their eyes, you're not the owner, you're just the help. See you in the next video, unless your cat has other plans for your schedule. Thanks for watching!